If you're traveling to Florence, chances are you will be passing through the city's main train station, Santa Maria Novella. Since figuring out the transport situation in Italy can be pretty overwhelming, today we are going to show you everything you need to know about one of Italy's busiest train stations.
We're Matteo and Misha. We're currently traveling to all 20 regions of Italy on the ultimate Italian road trip. In our previous episodes, we've covered how to use a train in Italy, the overnight train from Sicily to Rome, and walked you through what to expect in the Roma Termini train station.
Ooh, is that a free sample? Thank you.
Before we jumped on the fast train from Rome to Florence. Today, we are picking up where we left off and covering everything you need to know about Florence's main train station, Santa Maria Novella.
If you're coming from the city center, the train station is located right behind the church of Santa Maria Novella. So fun fact, Santa Maria Novella train station is named after Santa Maria Novella church. If you walk up the right side of the church, you will find the train station just in front of you, maybe a 2-minute walk. The underpass is just up the right side here as well. So you can go under and skip all the traffic that is running on top. If you're coming up the right side of Santa Maria Novella Church, you will find an underpass right next to it before heading to the station. Underpass number 2 is right across the street. Who would have guessed? A third underpass that I actually never knew existed. Just around the corner from the first two, we'll find a third one. And as quick as that, you will arrive at the train station. It may not look like much, but there are over 400 trains that run through this train station every single day. Even though it looks like a big sand brick building, a lot happens here. Standing outside the train station, you will find multiple options of transport. Right here in this big piazza, there are hundreds of bike parkings. So if you rode here on a bike, if you rented the bike, rode a scooter, you can lock them up or leave them here. As well as the underground parking right here outside of the train station. From what I understand, there are 3 entrances around here. Just look for the big blue P. You could also Google it because everything's on Google nowadays. There are also the tram and bus stops outside here. The trams can actually take you straight to Florence's small airport. I hear it can be pretty pricey to park here. However, Michelle and I have never driven in Florence, so if you know how much it costs to park underneath the station in Florence, let us know in the comments below. If you walk directly out of the station, you take about a 5-minute walk to get to the Duomo. So if you're just stopping here for an hour or 2 in between your trains, you can actually go and see the main church in the city. So once you exit out of one of the many exits, you'll find a lot of taxis lined up. So it shouldn't be too hard to find one. You'll know it's a taxi if it's got a sign on the top that says taxi. At the far end of the train station and by the taxi drop-off and pickup area, you will find the ticket offices as well as the ticket machines. There are a few different ways you can buy train tickets. The first is at the ticket office in the train station. Second are the ticket machines. And third is online or on an app such as Trenitalia, Trainline or Italo. Finding a ticket machine in the station is fairly simple. Look for the big red or maroon machines sprawled throughout the station. If you would prefer to visit the ticket office, look for the writing on the wall, Biglietteria. And if you'd like a step-by-step breakdown for buying a train ticket, you can find the link for our How to Use a Train in Italy video in the description below. and that's how it's done. You will also find the foreign exchange office at the entrance next to the ticket office. The most important thing you need to remember in any train station is to keep an eye on the boards, as they will display all the information that you need: train numbers, times, platforms, and if there is a delay.
When you enter the main part of the station, you'll find several facilities available, as well as shops and restaurants, such as the popular makeup shop Sephora, the Feltrinelli bookstore that also has a cafe, delicious Venchi gelato, a larger cafe called Piadina with a McDonald's inside, as well as a few other places to grab snacks and drinks.
A Tabacchi is a place to buy cigarettes and tobacco products, postcards, stationery, magazines, trinkets, souvenirs, and various other items and services. You used to be able to buy bus tickets at the station Tabacchi. However, that has been replaced by a machine at the entrance near Piadina Cafe and the McDonald's. The machine has different language options. If you would like to use the bus or tram, a quick search on Google Maps will tell you what stop to get on and off of, as well as the line you have to take to get to your destination. There are shops downstairs once you take the escalators underneath the train station. At the end of the underpass and in this tunnel underneath Santa Maria, you'll find stores such as clothing shops, you'll find foreign exchange, Vodafone, little cafes, as well as a couple other little treats here and there. You'll very quickly realize in the middle of summer that when you're inside the train station, it can get pretty hot. However, underneath is nice and air conditioned, so if you have a little bit of a layover over here and you're boiling to death and you don't feel like doing anything, come hang out underground. And from what I've just discovered, there's also a bicycle parking here as well. To be honest, I never actually explored this far until right now. However, it looks like they have a lot more than they did 5 years ago. And now, back to the train station. When you're at the platforms, it looks like they begin at platform 5. However, you need to go through the little exit way here and you'll get to platforms 1 to 4. They staggered at a different level to all the other platforms.
And between platforms 2 and 5, you have the toilets, but they do cost €1 to use.
So make sure you bring a coin.
So once you walk all the way to platform 1 and 2, you will notice that they are in line with the other platforms. However, to get to 3 and 4, you have to walk all the way to the back, there in the distance behind me, to reach the other 2 platforms. Although most of them may be in Italian, there are signs pointing you in the right direction. It's actually written in English now that I look. If there's no English, Binari is platform. As in any train station that you'll ever visit, pay attention to the boards and your train number, because they can change tracks, they can be delayed, and so paying attention to all your boards will be really helpful. Also, the trains come and go pretty fast, so if you know that your platform is platform 5 and you're there too early, there may be another train that is parked there. So pay attention again to the boards and you'll be able to know which train to get on. And for all our sakes, please do not forget to validate your train ticket in this here little machine. They will fine you if you do not validate your ticket. Don't forget to validate your ticket. In the middle of the station, there are also underpasses to get from one side to the other. If you do have an assigned seat, that means you have an assigned carriage. You will find your carriage number down the platform that you're supposed to be on. It looks like this. The carriage number is also written on the side of the train by the door that you're supposed to get on. If you're visiting the city for a few hours and would like to store your luggage somewhere, then you will find a luggage storage place on platform 16. If your train happens to leave from platform 17 or 18, it is a good 5 to 10 minutes walk down platform 16 to get to it. So just accommodate for that. If you have a Flixbus or an Apennino shuttle to or from the Bologna airport, and I'm pretty sure there's a couple other buses that stop there, the bus stop for those 2 buses is down platform 16 all the way to the end. And you'll see that there's a ramp down to the street, and that is where the buses stop. If I could give one piece of advice to anybody traveling through Italy by train, it's to pay attention to your platform number, your train number, and to just follow the signs, guys. A lot of them are translated into English, so follow the signs and don't panic. And one last thing to pay attention to is that Florence has multiple train stations. So make sure you select Firenze S.M.N. Novella if you are headed to the city center. But other than that, just take it easy, relax, take a breath, follow the signs, you'll be alright.